Oh my god, this team is so bad. On Thursday night, the Canucks went into Columbus to end their 6 game road trip, a road trip that has not gone so well for them. To this point, they were 0-5-0, which is good for Team Tank, which I think most of us have to be on at this point. But they went into this game maybe hoping to salvage a point or like 2 points from this road trip, which has been quite a big struggle. It was Lankinen to start, and that, Jesus Christ, what the hell happened in this game? First of all, the Blue Jackets got a power play in the first period, and the puck found Charlie Coyle down low. He made a move, Lankinen bit really hard, and Coyle just roofed it on his backhand. Lankinen is not a very good penalty-killing goalie. He does not have the style for it, and the stats back that up. I'm going to make a Kevin Lankinen video at some point soon, where I explain all of this, but I need to have the time. So we'll wait for that. I know you're eager for that one. Anyway, it was 1-0 Columbus, and then it was 2-0 because off the face-off, Marcus Pettersson got out-muscled by Kirill Marchenko, who took the puck and sniped it past Lankinen. Marcus Pettersson is so bad. And this actually now carries on into the third goal because Marcus Pettersson took a penalty that made the Canucks be shorthanded again. Werenski stepped around Connor Garland and shot it home and made it 3-0. At this point, an insurmountable lead for these Canucks. Marcus Pettersson has just been so bad recently. I honestly think he started off the season pretty fine, so maybe he's on Team Tank too. Because as soon as the season went downhill, he's decided to get worse. It's helping, so it's fine, but we are paying this guy $5.5 million, and this is the stuff that he's doing. It's going to be really hard to trade him too. Because obviously, I would think they'd want to trade him, given his play and his contract and his age. But who's going to want this? He's not good. He's not good anymore. Anyway, Columbus was not the only team to score a power play goal in this game because the Canucks got a power play, and it was none other than Brock Boeser. On the first attempt, Boeser shot it, and it was saved. It was a good save. Actually, really good shot from Boeser, but Pettersson found Boeser again, and he shot it. And this time it got through Merzlikins, and it made it his first goal in 22 games. I believe also his second in like 27, 28. I remember when that San Jose game happened, that was his more recent goal since that goal he scored last night. When he scored that goal, it was like, okay, bang, he's bumped his like 6 game slump. Now he's going to start scoring again. And then it got worse because it was 22 games after that for him to score again. So right now I'm thinking, okay, maybe he'll start scoring. Maybe this is what he needed. But there's also the chance that he takes another 60 games, based on the math, to score another goal. Hopefully not. Even if it is good for the tank, I don't really want to see Brock Boeser take that long to score a goal ever again, because it's really disheartening, and I feel bad. But he scored. He finally got one. Zeev Buium also got an assist, and I like when Zeev Buium gets a point. It was 3-1 Columbus. And going into the third period, Shorthouse was saying on the broadcast how Columbus had surrendered multi-goal leads quite a lot so far this season. But luckily it's the Vancouver Canucks, so they surrendered a 2-on-1, and Ken Johnson got it past a falling down Kevin Lankinen. Made it 4-1. That's where we ended. Canucks finished the road trip 0-6-0. That's pretty perfect. The especially good part from last night, too, besides the Canucks losing, is the fact that both Calgary and Winnipeg won. So we have 6 points to Winnipeg, and Winnipeg has a game in hand on us. There is a bigger difference between 32nd in the league and 31st in the league in terms of point percentage than there is between 31st and 20th. We aren't even close right now. And who knows how long it's going to take us to get those 6 points. Because, I'm assuming by the time we win 3 games, Winnipeg will be beyond the 43-point marker quite a bit. So it's looking pretty good for the Canucks being in last place target. That's not so bad. It's going to be tough to struggle through these last, 34 games? But, oh well, this is what they should be doing at this point. They need to get a top 3 pick. Hopefully top 2 pick. And when you're looking at the selections in the draft, the projected top 3 is McKenna, Stenberg, Verhoff. And I don't think Verhoff should be in that 3rd spot, but either way, it's probably a defenseman unless you take Tynan Lawrence. If the Canucks were to get 3rd overall, I think Tynan Lawrence at this point would be the pick, because I would way rather get a forward than a defenseman. But it really just shows how badly we need to win one of the lotteries and get top two. So even if we finish last place, there's a very good chance that we just lose both lotteries and end up picking third. There's a very good chance of that. That would suck, but as long as they take Lawrence, I just don't want a defenseman, and I definitely don't want Verhoff. I don't think Verhoff is that good. He's probably top 10, but I don't think he's third, and most people think he's third. I don't see it. I want a forward. I guess we'll see what Tynan Lawrence can do, because, I mean, people are saying if he does well in the NCAA, maybe he could even go first. And that wouldn't be so bad, because if we don't win the lottery and someone takes Tynan Lawrence first, we either get McKenna or Stenberg anyway, assuming we finish last in the league. That was a little bit of a tangent there. I will go back to talking about the Vancouver Canucks, although this does have to do with them. I've been looking a lot into the draft this year because it's interesting. We also have Minnesota's pick. But yeah, the Canucks can't win a game. That is 9 losses in a row. I don't know if they're ever going to win again. And honestly, at this point, it's fine. It's kind of fine because that's what we need to do. We need to be losing games. We need to not, like, we gain nothing from winning games right now. We gain absolutely nothing because we're not making the playoffs. That's been a very obvious for quite a while now. So they need to keep losing, even if it is kind of annoying. And especially now that I'm not going to the games, because it was frustrating to watch them lose in person twice. If they won that Columbus game last night, after I paid money to watch them lose twice, I would have been so pissed. That was like the game I've cheered against the Canucks the hardest all time, I think. Because I was going to just be so mad if they decided to finally figure out how to win a game as soon as I'm not there. They really did not figure out how to win a game. And going back to the Marcus Pettersson point, it's like crazy how bad he is. Because we don't have a lot of options on defense. Our defense is so bad defensively right now. Hronek is good defensively. He's pretty fine. And then other than that, I mean, Vilander makes some good plays, but overall, I think he's not the best in his defensive zone. Mancini isn't that good defensively. Bouillon isn't good defensively, and Myers has fallen off too. So we are just going to keep surrendering goals as long as Kevin Lankinen doesn't become a brick wall. And I thought Lankinen in this game was very fine. I think he got owned by Charlie Coyle on that first goal. He kind of just fell over on the fourth goal. But I mean, the Marchenko snipe and the Werenski snipe, both of those are difficult shots. And I mean, I blame someone else before I blame Lankinen on both of those. The person I blame on both of those is Marcus Pettersson. But yeah, Lankinen was fine. He had a positive GSAX, and he is pretty solid. I'm really starting to like Kevin Lankinen more. At the start of the season, when I actually wanted to be good, I didn't like Kevin Lankinen because he wasn't really that good at all. But now that it doesn't matter, I think Lankinen is fine. Lankinen is fine to be the goalie we have right now. I'm okay with it. I think he's been good. He was very good in that Ottawa game, so thank God for that, because if it weren't for Kevin Lankinen, I would have had to pay to see like a 7-1 loss. Anyway, yeah, so Kevin Lankinen has been good. Maybe he wasn't at his best yesterday, but he was also fine. He was a good player. I do agree with the broadcast. They gave Linus Karlsson their Canucks player of the game, and I thought that was the case too. He had a shift where he could have had 2 points, but DeBrus can't score, and Hronek got tripped. Karlsson was really creating things today, and or yesterday. Karlsson has been so good this season, like beyond expectations, beyond any expectations you could have for him. I didn't see him being a 40-point player, but he's on pace to be a 40-point player. He should have gotten a point yesterday. He deserved one. I don't know how DeBrusque didn't score that one. And yeah, it's cool, but also kind of sad that our second best forward right now is a 26-year-old rookie. This is no diss to Linus Karlsson, because he is playing above expectations. But there's just so many players who are supposed to be better, who are playing so far below expectations, that it's kind of sad they're relying on this guy. And he actually deserves the fact that he's on the first line and the fact that he's on the first power play unit. He deserves that right now. It is very nice. In a season full of dark spots, Linus Karlsson has probably been the biggest bright spot for the team, I think. I don't know if anybody has any other thoughts on that, but I think that Linus Karlsson has been the brightest spot on the Canucks so far this season. I called him the second best forward on the team right now because I do think the best forward on the team right now is Elias Pettersson. He's been putting up a decent amount of points recently, especially because there's like nobody around him to help him. And he's looked good. He's looked crafty again. He looks like a guy where if he weren't on the Canucks, he would absolutely be above point per game. Which brings me to my next topic, the fact that Elias Pettersson might get traded. The Canucks are listening on everyone, including Elias Pettersson, and it is their duty. That's what Rutherford said. It's their duty to listen to offers on any of their players, and that's true. If there is a return for Elias Pettersson that I would like, but overall, I would want to keep Pettersson because I think it was David Pagnotta, who reported that the asking price for Pettersson would be a good prospect, a pick, and something else. And I don't know if any team is going to be willing to pay that, but depending on the prospects that they get, maybe I'd be happy. You can look at like a Seattle. They have Berkeley Cadden. I wouldn't mind Berkeley Cadden in a first, and Seattle would need a guy like Pettersson too, because they are in the playoff hunt and they severely lack star forwards. But overall, I think I just want to keep Pettersson. I don't think that Seattle would ever pay that price, and that's what I would want. And I'd assume the Canucks' price for Pettersson would be pretty high as well, judging by that Pagnotta report. So at this point in time, I don't see Pettersson going anywhere, but I do like that they're listening on everyone. Apparently, also, the Sens reached out on Tyler Myers, and the Canucks turned them away, which, come on, guys. I like Tyler Myers as a person, but we can probably let him go to Ottawa, I think. Anyway, I will now leave it there. I've talked about more than just the Columbus game here. I watched that whole game on a bus. I was heading home from my trip. I was supposed to be home like right after the first period, and then I was gonna sit down, watch the last two periods. I was gonna sit down, watch the last two periods, make this video, have it out last night after the game. And then because of the snowstorm that hit Ontario, I didn't get home until well after the game. And at that point, I had been traveling for 14 hours because of the snowstorm. So there was no chance I was getting this out after the game. I figure no one's going to watch this now. The views are going to be very low because it's just a Columbus Vancouver game. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, it was a struggle to watch this game. But at least they lost. So it made it all worth it. I'll leave it there. Their next game is on Saturday against Edmonton. It would be really funny if they decide to win that one, and I can see them doing it. But hopefully Edmonton just pummels them. Edmonton did get shut out by Ilya Sorokin last night. Sorokin had like a 5.5 GSAX. So this could be another occasion like when Montreal got shut out by Detroit and then put up 6 on us. Could be an occasion where this team is just looking for a team to take out their anger on, and the poor little Vancouver Canucks are standing in their way. I think we're probably going to get our shit kicked in, which is fine because I have Connor McDavid in fantasy. Okay, my prediction was the Canucks would get shut out, which honestly wasn't a bad one. They scored 1 goal. I don't think I was going to get Boeser. This time, I'm going to say Linus Karlsson. He's just been doing so much out there. He's on the first line. He's on the first power play. He's getting all these opportunities, and he's one of the only guys who looks like he's trying right now. So I'm going to say Linus Karlsson will score a goal against Edmonton tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to edit this. I'm sick now, too. I got sick from my trip, so I'm really, really suffering. But yeah, that's my sob story. Goodbye.